I don't know what it is about this picture. It's kind of haunting. Hi, I'm Danielle Romero. Thank you so much for being with me here on my channel where I talk about American identity and family stories. Growing up in New York, this is really weird. Maybe this is just me. I only went to the Statue of Liberty once and I've never been to Ellis Island. I don't know if it's just a thing where because you grow up in a state and you just kind of take it for granted and you're like, I can go anytime. But I really regret never going to Ellis Island. Unless I did go. My parents watched this. My mom's probably yelling at the TV saying, we did take you. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure I didn't go to Ellis Island. But I want to go because I had Irish ancestors and Southern Italian ancestors come through Ellis Island. And I want to understand more about that experience. I think there are a lot of misconceptions about how immigration worked in the 18th and 19th centuries, for good and for bad. But I found this really cool site where it had 24 remarkable photos of immigrants from around the world coming in through Ellis Island in the 1900s. And I saw the first photo and I was like, I definitely want to do this with you. I just love seeing the primary sources. And I think sometimes we can learn a lot from just looking at a picture for 2 seconds. So let's go over there. Okay, so the website's Dusty Old Clothing. I have no idea what kind of site this is, but I want to jump down this. You know what would be fun to do? It might be fun to guess where you think people came from. Look at this little girl. I almost feel like this little girl seems kind of Asian. But let's see. Oh, and these little boys down here. Romani family photographed at Ellis Island around 1905. That's really cool. I wouldn't have guessed that. I really don't know a lot about the Romani people, and I'd really like to know more. Okay, this looks like people getting checked. My understanding is that you didn't necessarily have to show papers when you got to Ellis Island. They had to make sure you had money and you had a place to go, and they did a physical check and like a mental check. And I want to touch on that because there was a special puzzle that you had to do to prove your mental capabilities were up to snuff. And if you didn't do well, you would get put on the next boat out of there. Isn't that crazy? So it looks like that might be what's happening here. It says U.S. inspectors examining the eyes of immigrants, Ellis Island, 1913. I think there was, I might need somebody to jump in here, but I'm pretty sure I read once that there was a very contagious eye disease that they were worried about immigrants bringing over into the United States. Look at this guy back here. I have definitely seen this guy in coffee shops in Nashville. Like, he's a time traveler. Okay. This one is examining passengers aboard ships. The vessel is the Shimyo Maru. I wonder if that's Japanese or something. Angel Island, California, 1931. Let me know what that is. It's interesting. Look at these kids. It's just crazy when you look. Pictures, historical pictures just are priceless. And that's how I feel about family photos too. I just love seeing the old pictures, but you see these little kids. They just went on the craziest journey. We took our kids on Route 66 last summer. We drove. I have 3 kids. And it almost killed me. Like, I can't even imagine taking my kids to immigrate to another continent and you get there and you're not even sure if you're going to be allowed to stay in the 1900s. It's crazy. It's crazy what people did to get here. Ellis Island. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't know what it is about this picture. It's kind of haunting. I have kind of a crazy guess. I feel like they could be Sicilian kids. I have no idea though. This is an incredible picture. It looks like she's holding a little hat. They have tags on them. Look at their clothes. 2 children at Ellis Island. The numbers attached to their clothing probably relate to their passenger listings, but they're not telling me where they're from. What do you think? Tell me what you think. My gosh, I don't know. This one makes me feel like crying, seeing the kids with their stuff. Okay. This woman, this seems very Eastern European to me. I have no idea if that's right, but it feels like that kind of vibe to me. A Slovakian woman, 1905. How did they get such nice portraits? It's like she just traveled probably for weeks on a boat and she looks so put together. Like, I fly for 2 hours. I get off the plane. I'm like, no one look at me, please. First world problems. Dining hall at Ellis Island, early 1900s. I didn't know they had a dining hall. Look at all the faces, all the little kids, the moms. I don't really see any men. Do you see any men? This is like mostly women and children. I thought this mom was looking at her phone. My mind has been corrupted. I literally thought she was looking at, doesn't it look like she's looking at her phone? Okay, this is a cool picture. I want to say, I mean, some Middle Eastern country, but I also feel like maybe Moroccan or something. He weirdly looks like my dad a little bit. I have to send this to my dad. I'm going to say Moroccan. Look at how happy he is. Algerian man at Ellis Island, early 1900s. That is an awesome picture. Okay. Oh, look at these kids. Look at these outfits. Could they have really been traveling in these outfits? Is that I'm amazed by that. She's got a little locket, holding hands. They're so cute because pom-pom hat, little boots. I had no guess that was way too hard. Laplander children from Sweden on Ellis Island. It's amazing. This could be your great-grandparents. That's all this would be, your great-grandparents, you know? Amazing. Okay, this one says Ellis Island. And before I scroll down all the way, it looks like a woman and a man and their child. I don't know if this, look at all these bags. This poor guy, he got his rear in this picture for all eternity. Immigrants at Ellis Island, 1917. They're not saying, well, I can't even imagine just the relief of arrival. But then it's like, once you arrive, now your journey begins. Now you're on this journey of surviving, becoming an American, acclimating, assimilating. And it helps to understand, I think, a lot of the choices our families have made to, when we look back and say, how could you let the language go, the culture, all this? But they're getting off these ships and they're like, okay, we've got to give it everything we've got because we have no way to get back, or we can't go back. Okay. Immigrants at Ellis Island. Here's another one, 1900. I like how the men are in the back and the ladies are in the front. It's like how they did those old timey photos. Like, don't stand with your family. Just pull the guys back there. This is me in every picture. I'm like, I can't see unless I'm wearing sunglasses. I can tell you how this kid behaved on the boat. I taught lots of little boys in my time. I can tell you. We have a little prankster right there. Oh, I love this picture. This is almost giving me like a mantilla, I think is what it is. Almost like the Spanish Catholic head coverings. Mantilla, is that how you say it? But it also looks really Sicilian, which is interesting to me. So like maybe Southern Italian, Sicilian. I hope they say Italian. Oh, I feel so good that I got that one. My dad would be proud. Ellis Island, 1900s. I don't know anything about this situation. And my dad's grandparents, some of them came over even later, like 1921. So I would really, I don't know if this was just like a stylistic thing, if this is a religious thing, or she was just like, I haven't washed my hair in weeks and I'm putting this blanket over my head. Okay, this one is, I cannot tell what is happening. Like the outfits, I feel like it has to be like another maybe even Moroccan. Ooh, I feel so good. I'm on a roll right now. Ellis Island, early 1900s. That seems so hot to be walking around in. But you could have been showing up in February in New York, which I do not recommend. That'd be a shock to your Moroccan system, huh? This says, ready for travel and going north, south, and west. Immigrants with baggage lined up at tellers' windows. Marked money exchange, early 1900s. So they're exchanging their money so that they can go. And they're like, you sit here and watch all the bags. Wow. You know what I also think about is how everybody's dressed. I feel like we are so casual with how we dress. And all of a sudden, I've had this epiphany that I don't want to be so casual anymore. And I bought a bunch of like 1930s style skirts. I actually bought a pair of men's pants from 1940. Like actually from 1940, I brought them to a tailor to get them brought in. I haven't picked them up yet. But Yeah, so I don't know. There's something about I just like how everybody looks. I just like how they're just taking pride in it and they're like, here's my best and only suit and I'm gonna wear it to travel to America and put my best foot forward. And I really love that. So cool. This says immigrants Ellis Island. I don't know if it's gonna say who. Immigrants just carrying luggage. 1900. Ooh, look at this lady. I feel like there's no way she's an immigrant. Is she? Wow, if she is, she was the belle of the ball. I feel like these guys must have just been like walking around browsing. These are New Yorkers. It's a totally different presentation here. Such like a Victorian look here. Okay, this one, before I scroll down, looks like they're getting a taxi or something, maybe. A taxi. And unloading their bags in Battery Park, 1900. Unloading. So like, okay, we're here. We made it. Okay, this one's a little blurry. Quarantine station on Hoffman Island, 1901. I don't know anything about this. I mean, I can extrapolate what it probably is, but let me know. I'm guessing if they were going to give you a chance, you had something that they were like deeming too weird to let you out loose in the country, and they're like, we need to wait and see what's going on. Are you sick? Or something like that. Maybe you got off the boat kind of sick, which how could you not think about what that must have been like. Mm. This says some immigrants were detained for long periods or were held indefinitely, as in the case of Angel Island near San Francisco, where the Chinese Exclusion Act made immigration for Chinese an extremely arduous process that could leave immigrants cooped up in cells for years. I feel like screaming reading that. And here's U.S. Immigration Station, main building, examination room, Angel Island, early 1900s. How intimidating. Once they finally got settled, immigrants often lived somewhat separate lives from the larger community, tenement housing. I've never seen this. Italian rag picker and family, 1907. I don't know what a rag picker is. I see a lot of, I see a lot of pieces of cloth and things. I don't know if it's something where like you're collecting stuff and then selling it to a bigger company, kind of like almost like, picking up cans to recycle or something like that. Is this their mom, do you think? She seems so old to be having this baby, but you think about how hard life was at this point, how incredibly hard, and how little you have access to. I wonder if that could be. Okay, this is wow. You know what it looked like to me at first? It looked like papel picado, like the special like hand cut like thin tissue paper that you see like a lot in Mexico. But it's not papel picado. It's New York papel picado. It's laundry lines outside New York City tenement buildings, 1900. It's crazy. It's all white. And look at these black socks right here. This is one of the most interesting compositions. And I'm not a photographer, but this is a super interesting picture. Those socks. Bed sheets, probably. Teeny tiny little like stockings. All right, this looks like a family sitting down. Family in tenement kitchen, 1911. Notice the crib and laundry packed into this space. So dad's coming home. And let's count the kids. There might be a baby in here. I can't tell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a good Catholic family. Possibly 7. She could be pregnant. Who knows? There's a hat up here. They've got some laundry inside. Boy, just like, look at this stuff down here. It's crazy. I don't see any windows. Oh, I love this picture. Okay, so what's really cool here is I think you can actually see the camera tripod in this old mirror. I love this old bed. Okay, there's no mattress on that bed. It looks like someone reading or knitting. Looks like knitting, and he's helping his mom by holding the yarn. We've got this guy sitting back here, grandma here, and I think the camera here. Family in tenement room, 1912. Can you imagine sharing a room that small with your whole family? It looks like they have like maybe a little calendar or something over here. This says a steamer class, 1909. So-called steamer class is taught through object identification and signing to help immigrant children learn English. They were mixed age. That's cool. So they were learning English, learning how to identify objects. So it's like just total immersion, which is great. And that's a great way to learn, or so I've heard. These kids look happy. Oh, I really like this. I wish we had more information about these kids. Oh, I love this. I love seeing the little kids. Oh my gosh, this little girl's so cute. Look at him back here. What's amazing about these pictures is I think when we see them, or when I teach using these pictures, the kids see other kids and they recognize them as kids. And they're like, they look just like us. I'm like, yeah, they do. They do. And I think it helps build that empathy and that imagination of putting yourself in the position of these other kids. Immigrant children at school in Boston, 1909. So I bet we have a lot of Irish kids here too. Is this a teacher or a child? Let me know what you think. I think that's like an uptight kid, but I can't. Some of the kids do look like adults. I will give that. That's the last one. Those were so cool. I love this. I love going through the picture lists with you and not looking ahead so we can just kind of react to it together. But I really want to do some work on Ellis Island. I have been digging around a little bit on my Irish side. I want to know more about it. My great-great-grandpa came from Ireland, and on his census records, this was before pre-1900, but even on some of the census records, he was listed as being from the Free State of Ireland or Northern Ireland, which I don't know all the history of that, but that's what was put down on the census. But that was before, I think, the official separation, because again, this was like the late 1800s. I don't know a lot about Irish history. I would love to learn more about it, but yeah, this is amazing. Let me know if there's anything on Ellis Island that you can point me in that we could do as a video, because I think that would be really fun. I just really enjoy it. I really enjoy studying this stuff. So let me know what you think. And if you'd like to see a video I did where I reacted to some pretty shocking videos from the Jim Crow era, it was a similar list like this. I'll leave a link to that below. Otherwise, we'll talk soon.